Alright, let's just get this over with. Hey guys, this is GamerCow playing Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. This is a take 2 because my recording setup crashed. I don't know why, but Dazzle recorder program thingy just decided, you know what, I ain't gonna record this anymore, screw you. So yeah, that's kind of why, although to be honest I was doing terribly anyway, but that is besides the point. I'm not cutting stuff because I'm playing badly, it's like genuine fail of everything. No, it's not actually my fault this time, so yay! Anyway, we're doing Star Blooper Open or Blooper Star Open, whatever. It's shit, so I don't care what it's actually called. And yeah, normally to me this course doesn't start until hole 4. If I can get away with pars on the first 3 holes, then usually it's okay. And that is why this green is absolutely shite to try and attack. You can see it's 446 yards, so it's quite a long way away, and I can't just directly go towards it either. I've got to, you know, do some other weird stuff first. It's a ridiculous first hole. Absolutely ridiculous. Normally what I do is I normally try and aim around about here, hit off the fast fairway, and I end up just above it up here. But because of this big wind, it's kind of making me think that I should probably go for a little bit more, but then I'm going to land at a bunker and it's going to suck. But you know what, we're going to go for it anyway, and all will hopefully be well. I don't even know why I've super top spun this. This is heading straight into the rough, and that's going to make the second shot impossible. Yeah, spinning. Well, it's in the semi-rough, that's not impossible. But basically this shot, how are you supposed to actually attack this properly? Because, well, I mean, I can kind of see it. I think you're supposed to go off of here. But, dude, this is just ridiculous to try and stop as well on the fast-flowing green. This is a ridiculous shot to try and do, and I'm hoping to God the backspin's enough here. It probably isn't, but we'll just have to see. Nowhere freaking close. It wouldn't have mattered what backspin I put on that. So yeah, it's a nearly impossible hole, and I can't even properly get this either. What the hell? Because if I hit this any lower than 9 yard, it just gets stuck on the... This is the worst freaking hole ever. Can I even get up with that? No, I can't. But I can... This is the worst thing ever, seriously. Because I can... Well, how does that work? How does hitting the higher trajectory, hitting the bottom of the bowl, how does that somehow do less for a shot than... That makes no sense. Game, you make no sense whatsoever. I mean, we kind of already established this before, but still, you make no sense. And that just missed. Oh well. It's still a nice, simple enough par, and I've done enough ranting on this hole already. Let's just move on. It's been like 2 minutes on this or something. God cow. Taking way too long in this hole. But yeah, I really hate this tournament. I hate this course. There's nothing really redeeming about it, and yeah, it's just complete ass, and this wind is also just complete ass. Seriously, the only safe spot that you can hit in this entire first bit is here, but if you hit here, well, I mean, it depends on your character, but if you hit there, you've got absolutely no chance of getting an eagle, because you end up about 320 yard away. So, this course is, this hole even, I keep calling holes courses and I don't know why, but yeah, this one's practically impossible to get on in 2. I'm not even looking to get on in 2 because I'm using Yoshi, and Yoshi's got a fairly average drive, but as long as I don't stick in the rough here I should be fine, but there's not really an issue because of fast fairwayness. Yeah, see that? 317 yard from here. Even Bowser would struggle to get that. Anyhow, this second shot, it's very easy to end up right stuck against this tree over here. Come on, let me show the tree. Dang it. This one right over here, it's very easy to get stuck behind that, so try not to do that. And I think the way I'm going to do that is just playing relatively safely and just aiming for around about here. The wind is going to take it quite a bit over, but yeah, this is maybe the best bet. Backspin that just to try and stabilize the shot. Make sure I don't get caught behind a tree because that would suck. Fast fairway, not really an issue this time because I controlled it well enough. And yeah, I'm not stuck behind the tree. Yoshi has got plenty of space to go there, and we can go for it. Now, the thing with this course especially, and even the later ones as well, but this, this one I find is worse. I have a shit lie on this semi-rough here, that sucks. But, yeah, the thing with this course is that the greens, where the pin placement is absolutely horrendous. Most of them tend to be on these ridiculous hills that are just plain ass to try and run with, and it sucks. And look at that, even though I moved it over a good bit, and the wind just took it ridiculously. I don't know how much I agree with that, but okay. I always have massive trouble judging the hills on this course though. I don't know why, but out of all of them, this seems to be the one I fail putting at the most, because the hills just seem to disagree with me at all times. And it's kind of dumb, to be honest. I wish they'd stop doing that, but I can't really control what happens. And yeah, we're gonna make par on the second one as well. That is okay because yeah, it's not very easy at all anyway. I birdied it maybe twice so far in like quote unquote practice runs of this, which have taken up the last like 2 days pretty much, because I was practicing this straight after recording the other one, yada yada yada, you know what it's like. But yeah, that's a thing. And this course, this is impossible as well. I mean, come on, seriously, how the hell? It's not the absolute worst position. I mean, the best spot the pin can be is here. Usually the pin is right up here, and it is physically impossible to attack that. I don't understand why the hell they've allowed that as a position, but they have. This is not much better, because you see how steep that hill is from the left to right there? That's gonna suck if I manage to land on this at all. And this feckin' tree over here tends to always catch me as well. For some reason that tree clips me way more than it should. So let's hope that doesn't happen, because this is literally the best attacking spot I have. And because of the percents and the wind and everything, I have topspun this. I'm expecting it to hit the rough. It's exactly what it's going to do, but it's going to hit the rough about 10 yards short, so yeah, that happened. Absolute hate. You know, there's nothing else that can really describe this. It is just, this course is hate. And yeah, that was not really that close, but to be honest, it's a par, so that's good enough. Really, it doesn't matter who you use for this, I don't think. I think these first 3 holes are impossible for most characters to do. I mean, you could probably do it with Mario or something if you were perfect in control, but even then, well, Yoshi, to be fair on him, he's not particularly suitable for this course anyway, because Yoshi doesn't exactly have the best height ever, and a lot of this course is uphill, so it kind of sucks. Anyway, this is the first hole that you should definitely be birdieing if you are playing remotely well, because it's not really that hard to do. It's a bit harder if your drive is any less than Yoshi's, because even Yoshi kind of struggles to reach that bit there. The only reason it was done so easily is because of the humongous tailwind that I had there. But yeah, this is one of those holes that you really should be birdieing, and even this is not easy. You see this freaking hill here? Again, it's like, yeah, this is not simple to get a birdie on, but this is one of the first ones that you should be getting a birdie on, and that was so far under hit. I should have topspun that. Or maybe not, because the hill kind of took it. Okay, that's actually good. So hopefully this putt shouldn't be too hard. It doesn't look that bad. Then again, this particular course I always seem to screw the putts up on, so you know. And of course that freaking happens, because for some reason that hill is worse than every other hill of that exact type in every other course. Don't fucking understand that, but fair enough. So yeah, pars on all the first 4 holes. It's not exactly the best thing ever, but you know, it's not that terrible. Wiggler's only at -3, I guess. How the -3 in the first 5 holes is a fantastic outing, but whatever, man. Oh, we've got a nice wind on this one though, this is good. You've got to be very, very careful here though. If you miss-hit the control even slightly, you are going straight down that hill into the bunker, and you'll be lucky if you make par. So be very, very accurate with this one. You do not want to hit any of the bunkers here. To be honest, the freewood power is probably safer, so I should maybe just go with that. I kind of want to be past that tree though. So it's a tough sort of spot to look at because I don't want to hit the bunker, which means hitting the fast fairway itself is probably out of the question. Oh, whatever, let's just hit this and hope it works. And yep, I think this should be okay. Yoshi's control is generally good enough, so this shouldn't roll down the hill. No, it's not. It's staying up top. This is good. And we might be able to actually get to the green in regulation here, because I'm at the exact spot I want. So this is interesting. What do we got? I guess I'm going to hit roughly here, and then if I get it spot on, I'll probably backspin. Okay, backspin it is then, because we have got it spot on. So, this might actually be one of those that we can do a birdie on. Yay! Yep, that's going to be a birdie hole. Perfect thing. Excellent! We're finally on the freaking scoreboard after 5 holes. Yeah, this course is that annoying, to be honest. Oh jeez. Wiggler's at -4, that sucks, but Wiggler's gonna drop. Usually this is a pretty low scoring tournament because, yeah, it's just that way. Oh, this hole is kinda hard to actually get a good show on because, well, the pin can be down here if it's feeling nice, of course it's not, so there's a big ass hill there, and if I could somehow get up that hill, that would be very much appreciated, but I don't know exactly how that's going to work. But because I slightly overhit the shot, maybe it'll get up the hill? Or maybe it'll just be a douche and bounce off the hill? Yep, completely bounce off the side of the hill and stick there. It's just ridiculous, to be honest. Unfortunately, a lot of the greens are like this in all 3 of the remaining courses, as we know, so this is unlikely to be an isolated incident, which is the sucky part, but oh well, I could have top spun that, but I don't think it would have gone in anyway. I think it was getting pushed to the right a little bit too much. So, we're gonna have to make par there as well. That's okay. That, again, the par 3s. On the whole, there's 1 par 3 which is easy, the rest of them are like impossible, so why is it raining on this one? This is one of the only birdieable holes in the front 9, and it's like the worst conditions ever. Come on, seriously. The pin is in a nice enough spot though. You can see there's not that much of a hill around it, so hopefully the pin should be attackable. And yeah, we're gonna need that to... we're just gonna need that in order to keep this run alive, because seriously... Thankfully the back 9 does tend to be a little bit nicer than the front, but even so, it's not something I really want to be relying on to have to like birdie lots and lots of the back 9 holes, because that's putting a lot of pressure on, you know? And man, I am hitting these shots practically perfectly, exactly as I want them. It's just not quite coming together in the luck aspect, which is unfortunate. Oh, this isn't going in. I can say that right now, but the wind took that far too much. This is not going in. It would probably go in if it wasn't for the rain, but the rain here, I don't even know how hard to hit this. I'm probably just going to hit that and hope that it goes far enough. It kicked off the... How? How the hell did it kick off of that hill? That is bullshit. Yoshi, you're using a freaking putter, not a wedge. You're not... That's the biggest thing I find with this game, apart from the RNG screwing. The biggest thing I find that's wrong with this game is that for some reason, any sort of hill when you're putting, if you hit it remotely hard, and that wasn't even that hard, that was less than 40 foot for power, and it bounces you so high off the hill that it completely screws your putt. You cannot read that sort of thing, and it's just unfair. Completely unfair, and that to me is my biggest criticism of this game overall. And it comes into play so often in these later courses that it's just ridiculous. And, well, it's sort of screwed me out of one thing so far. I should definitely be 2 under, probably 3. You know, that one, yeah, that one could have gone a lot better, but oh well. This hole should be birdied as well, but it's probably not going to happen at the moment. I don't know. This is sort of a tricky-ish approach type of shot here, second shot, because yeah, there's not a whole lot of scope for stuff. This might actually just land straight in the rough. No, it landed in the rough, but it spun out. Didn't spin at all, it just bounced out. Oh, this is so far uphill though. I think I do need to go up a putter here, and that's gonna make this really, really tricky. But, here's hoping, you know. Well, maybe. I've got the power just about right. And yes, we've actually got that one set, so good stuff. We have got the birdie on the hole, which I was hoping to get one on. And yeah, now you see Wiggler's already tanking at hole 9. So we're in a good spot here. Because we've not been doing that well, the AI hasn't been doing that well either, so it works. And, well, we move on to the second of the par 5s. This one is possible to birdie. It would be possible to eagle if I was using somebody not named Yoshi, because I'd be able to go slightly further along and it would be nice, but because of that headwind, not much chance of that happening. So let's just play safe and go to the spots which are nice and open and not fast fairways, so we don't get plugged against a freaking cliff. Because as we know, that cliff top is out of bounds, so you don't want to get stuck there, and it's giving me the shit lie. Of course it's giving me the shit lie, and I can't even do anything from here, can I? The hell? Yeah, where the hell am I supposed to go? Because that's not gonna help. Oh my good god, why? Like, seriously, can I hit the top of this here? I can't hit anything from this. Wow. That is freaking terrible. I might be able to get just about far enough that if I super topspin this, I might get round the side of that cliff, which means I could still get to the green in 3 shots. But wow, to have to use a 9 iron to get out of there because of where it landed me, that sucks, and that's one of the only safe spots in that entire bit of fairway as well, so you've kind of got to go there. Sometimes it just doesn't work, but thankfully we've managed to make the sort of recovery shot, which is good, and all is hopefully well. You can see where that pin is though. Look, the hill just around that. This green is almost unphysical. It's terrible. Anyway, not going to hit backspin on that because I've under-controlled and underpowered it, so it's just going to be normal stuff. And that didn't even properly work because it kicked off of a... I don't get it. Wow, this is just ridiculous. This is not going to go in. If this doesn't kick off the hill, I will be surprised, but this is not going. Like, seriously, there's no way you can get this. Because, yeah, it was fairly close, actually, but I think it did just about kick off the hill. It didn't kick off it proper because you didn't hear the sound, but it did look as if it sort of came up slightly. I don't know, that was shite. So 2 under on the front 9, that is not what I would normally like to see. But then again, for this oh my... Come on! Why? This hole is kind of similar to the first one in that it's how the hell do you actually attack this, but nowadays I've actually been hitting over here and it's done me fairly well, but usually I don't have freaking the strongest wind ever to deal with, so I don't know how it's gonna go this time. Not straight in the fucking rough or water or something. It's not in the water because the camera angle's okay. How did that manage to get to semi-rough? I think it's a pretty terrible semi-rough lie, actually. I'm pretty sure the way that looked it was ±6, but how did that manage to get to the semi-rough? I didn't topspin that or anything, which I should have, and yes, it is ±6. This is impossible to reach from here then. This is impossible to control. Like, I can reach this pretty easily, but actually controlling it and staying on the green is completely impossible. So yeah, with Yoshi's height, you don't get enough to make that reasonable, and yeah, all of a sudden I've started making the absolute worst control shots ever, and this is not going to end well. Look at that, it's just pathetic, Gal. Come on. And again, I'm getting another absolutely shite lie. That's another thing that's seeming to come up in this particular course right now, is that I'm getting all the worst lies possible, and it's already really hard to do this, so what the hell? Oh, bad luck plus bad everything else, really. It's not even bad playing at this point, because most of it, okay, that hole was pretty terrible. Raining again, it's just shocking, really. How to even do this one? You can see the hill here, you can see, is going diagonally downwards towards the right, and then as soon as you get past the pin, it's going diagonally downwards to the left. I don't quite understand how that's supposed to work as something you can attack or even get anywhere close to, so I'm just gonna hope this actually works. And it's gonna hit off the fringe, and yeah, that mostly worked. It's never going to be an easy putt, although this is retardedly difficult actually, but yeah, it was never going to be an easy putt, but at least it's a little bit more doable. But of course, it's going to miss entirely, because I think I very slightly overjudged that. Yeah, just very slightly overjudged it in terms of left-right hillness. And yeah, that is all that can be said. Another practically impossible hole to get a birdie on. I just don't understand. I mean, as I've said, I'm not exactly playing terribly at the moment. You see, most of my shots have actually been perfectly where I wanted them, but conditions are just impossible right now. Usually with this hole, what I would want to do is I would want to hang back here so that I would be a bit safer, but to be honest, with the wind as it is, and I've got nothing really to lose anyway, I'm best off just going for this. And that's gonna bite me in the ass, no doubt, because that bunker is right there. I think I bounced over it though. Yep, gotten over the bunker, so that is alright, I guess. Somehow the best drive, fair enough. And, well, this one's not impossible. I can say that now. This one's definitely not impossible. Highly improbable some half the time, but it's not that bad. You've just got to be careful of this here. Really, that's the biggest threat. But if you can manage to avoid that, then this hole is definitely fairly possible to get a birdie on. As I said, the back 9 tends to be a little bit nicer than the front 9, even though it's not really that nice anyway. Yeah, there we go. That's a nice straightforward looking putt. So let's just get that straight in. Thank you. So yeah, it's not as bad on the back. It's still bad, but it's not terrible. I mean, we're the only ones under par at the moment, and the big bob arm playing with us is our biggest threat, and he's 3 strokes behind. So right now, even though the conditions have been ridiculous, it's still looking up, looking up. Unfortunately, Yoshi doesn't have enough distance to get there, so I'm gonna have to go the long way around. This one you really should be birdieing as well. There's definite possibility to get a birdie here. It's not the hardest hole out there, and it is... well, the second shot's kinda tricky. The second shot is gonna be a bit awkward reaching the right area, but it's definitely possible to get this done in 3 shots to get to the green. And that is what we're going to look at doing just now. See here, there's a lot of fast fairway around, so it is a bit of a tricky shot, but it's not the hardest one ever. There's definitely harder that we've done today, and this is going to be perfectly fine. There's no issues with that shot whatsoever. Slightly underpowered, but with the tailwind and the fact that there was a good bit of fairway behind where I was aiming, straightforward. And then the pin here, sometimes it's over this way and at the back, and that's a little bit harder to hit, but here it's quite nice, so it shouldn't be an issue with getting to the pin. Maybe should have backspun that, I'm not quite sure. I'm never sure exactly whether to backspin stuff or not, but no, backspin was not necessary that time, so this is why I'm leaving more of them now. On this surface in particular, I'm leaving a lot more of my shots without spin, just because I don't know exactly how it's going to interact with the surface. So I'm kind of trying to play safe, and yeah, that's what happens. But nonetheless, we have indeed managed to get to 4 under. That is a good show so far. I'm only really looking to get about 5 under by the end of this. This course is ridiculous enough as it is, so to get any sort of score under par on this one is very good. And yeah, 4 under, I would happily stick with 4 under. I would probably happily stick with 2 under, to be honest, because yeah, I've played consistent enough to get the pars, and that is really what you're after. Getting bogeys of course sucks, and that's the thing I am trying to avoid most of all, but yeah. I guess with this hole I've not really talked about it at all. So long as you don't get hit in one of those bunkers in the first shot, this hole is usually quite easy. It's that shot was a bit poor actually compared to where it should have been, but kicked off the hill slightly unfavourably, but it is still a decent shot, which has maybe landed a birdie? No, because somehow that hill happened to be very slightly more influential than it should have been. So yeah, it's this particular course, and I don't know why, but I always seem to fail the really simple putts on this course. And now Big Bomb is gonna start coming back, and that's not good, because if he gets up, he'll probably get to about -3 by the end of this, and I don't really want to be dealing with him getting that close. So let's just try and ignore that at the moment. This is maybe the only sort of safe spot Yoshi can reach. Stronger characters can reach the watermelon, but Yoshi is not one of them. Which is a shame, because you'd think this course is, or this hole even... Why am I constantly getting ±6% semi-rough here? That's... But anyway, you'd have thought this hole would have actually been made for Yoshi because of all the fruit and stuff, but apparently not. Because he can't do it as well as a lot of other characters. So, you know. I should not have backspun that because that's -4%. I didn't see that. Oh, you are fucking kidding me. How the hell? What? That is total bullshit. Seriously, how? Not cool, game. Not cool. And of course it misses the chip as well, because, yeah. Oh god, this is not going well in the slightest. Yeah, because Big Bomb is probably going to get a birdie on at least one of the other holes, and he'll definitely get one on 18, because they pretty much always get one on 18, so this is... Oh jeez, a single freaking mishit is all that it takes. This hole is usually okay. I mean, the pin's never going to be a nice position, because look at that green, it's ridiculous. But, having said that, all the greens are ridiculous, but you can... Maybe you can get into this one if you get to the left of the pin, little groove down there. You should be able to get a birdie off of this one. So let's just try. Let's just fuck up the control. Yeah, why the hell not? But also, yeah, let's just try and get into that little groove spot there. Don't hit the bunker. Oh, you're gonna hit the bunker, aren't you? You are a dick. Seriously, these bunkers are the worst thing ever though, because I cannot actually hit anything out of here. I can't even hit a bloody recovery shot out of this, because there is like nothing I can do here. Hitting down there is not an option, because I won't be able to get out from down there. So I actually cannot hit anything to get out of this bunker. It's worse than the ones in St. Andrews. Like seriously, dude, I cannot really do anything. I'm just gonna hope this actually doesn't go into the rough at all. No, it doesn't, because it backspins about 10 yards back. Okay, slight exaggeration, but still. Now I've got to make this for par. And this is hard enough to make for freaking birdie, never mind the pressure of making it for par. Jeez. God damn it. Oh. This is way closer than it should be, and this is one of those holes you should really be birdieing. Said the bat 9 is not that bad, but look at it, it's just terrible. And we're on the fringe and we're less than 4 yards away. That's shocking. Less than 10 foot away, and we're on the fringe here. Well, at least it's a tame putt, so we can still make par, and this is way too close. Yeah, I knew it. He's going to get to -2, so that means at the very least he'll be at -3 by the end of this. So I cannot afford to screw up at all. Thankfully, this is one of the easier par 3s. It's like the easiest par 3 out there. There's mostly flat stuff. Sometimes the pin is up here, which makes it impossible. Not quite impossible, but much harder. That is not the case today, so yay. Why am I hitting that weak? I should be hitting the 4 here. That wind sort of disturbs me a little bit though. I'm not liking that. You know, it's a bit stronger than I would want for my situation right now, but so long as I hit the shot exactly as I intend, the backspin should handily slow this down. It might not even be necessary. It's not going to be necessary because apparently the wind is going to suddenly influence the ball massively more than it would normally do. Yes, I realise I hit the top trajectory, but even so, it affected it way more than it would normally do, and it ended up putting me about 10 yards short of where I was aiming. I don't know about you, but something doesn't quite seem right about that. Oh jeez. So let's hope that this is not overhit somehow. And it isn't overhit, but it's underjudged. That, come on, give me a better angle than that. Yeah, because apparently that hill influenced it very slightly too much. Right. Whatever. Come on, seriously. So yeah, not exactly best impressed with this right now, as you can obviously tell. But we have got the last hole to do here, and the wind is of course fucking ridiculous, because the wind is always going to be fucking ridiculous. This hole is pretty much impossible to get an eagle on as well, because to get an eagle you would have to be able to hit over here. You actually can't even do that without a perfect shot and this sort of wind as a tailwind, so that's going to be impossible. It's very hard not to hit the bunkers here, which makes the second shot, well, doesn't matter what you hit really, the second shot's still going to be insanely annoying. And yeah, that's basically the summary of the hole. You've got to get up in 3. It is possible to birdie, it's not that bad if that doesn't happen, which somehow it did. -1% off of the tee shot is fucking hell. And now I can't get up because the freaking lie is like the worst thing ever, so I can't get up for my second shot, no, my third shot, to actually reach the green. Oh no, why are you... What the hell is going on here? Well, I know what's going on here. I'm getting RNG screwed completely because yeah, +4% took that way too far. And this is going to end in disaster, I can say that now, because once again I'm gonna have to get up, and yeah, I've got 2 shots in order to try and salvage this, and I don't know if that is remotely possible, because yeah, we've already seen somehow it's just affecting things way more than it should at the moment. I definitely should have had that as backspin. Then again, knowing this game at the moment, the wind is probably going to send me like 20 yards short, so yeah. And well, that's definitely a makeable thing. As you could have probably seen, if you didn't hit that bunker like an idiot in the first shot, or get screwed over by the freaking random generator and end up in the bunker because of that, it's perfectly possible to get a birdie on that hole. Just... So as I said, Big Bomb is going to get that birdie at the end, so we are tied first. You know what, I don't give a shit, because this course is the worst thing ever, and yeah, that happened. That definitely happened. I was so expecting to have to redo this as well because of the thing there. I so thought I was going to get the bogey at the end of that, and wow, that was a thing. It's easily my least favorite course in the entire game. There's no doubt about that. But even at that, I can still do much better than that. I think the best I've hit with Yoshi is -11. Somehow, I got very lucky with a pin placement on the first couple of holes. I managed to get birdies there, but oh, that was an ordeal. 4 birdies and 1 bogey was the only stuff in that particular thing. Wow. Well, I knew it was gonna suck, so yeah, that kinda happens. Anyway, thank God it's over. So, this has been GamerCow playing Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, and join me next time when we go into Peach's Star Invitational. I suppose that's what it's called, so that's what it's gonna be. So yeah, see you for that next time.